All right, let's talk about something that is, and I'm not kidding, a total game changer for personal growth. We're diving into Keystone habits. These are the small, seemingly minor practices that can create massive, positive ripples across your entire life. Let's get into it.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What if you could change just one single thing and it had a domino effect on everything else? It sounds a little too good to be true, right? But the science behind this idea shows it's not just possible, it's actually a super effective strategy for real transformation.
You know the feeling. We've all been there. It's that classic New Year's resolution trap. We decide we're going to lose weight, save money, learn a new language, and organize the entire house, all starting January 1st. And what always happens? We burn out. Fast. And, that's because just deciding to change isn't enough. It's just not. Real lasting change takes more than just a single moment of inspiration. Our motivation, as we all know, is fickle. It comes and goes. So if we want to make changes that actually stick, we've got to use a smarter strategy than just raw willpower. Okay, so this is where Keystone habits come into play. This idea was really popularized by Charles Duhigg in his fantastic book, The Power of Habit. A keystone habit is basically this. It's one core behavior that kicks off a chain reaction, sparking all these other good changes in your life, sometimes without you even consciously trying. Yeah, I love this quote. Behavioral linchpins. It's such a perfect way to put it. Think about a stone archway. The keystone is that one wedge-shaped stone at the very top that locks all the others into place and holds the whole thing together. That's what these habits do. They provide the support for your whole lifestyle, and suddenly everything else just starts to move with way less resistance. So, how does this actually work? How can one tiny little change have such a massive impact? It might feel like magic, but it's not. There's some really cool psychology going on behind the scenes. Let's break down exactly why these small shifts create such a powerful ripple effect. Okay, here's the playbook. It all starts with what we call a small win. You get that first little success under your belt, and boom, your confidence gets a boost. And that's not just a fleeting feeling, it creates real momentum. You start to trust yourself, to prove to yourself that you're the kind of person who follows through, and that momentum is what eventually changes how you see yourself. And this is maybe the most powerful part of the whole thing. Your identity actually starts to shift. See, when you exercise every day, you stop thinking about exercising. You just become a person who exercises. It gets woven into who you are. And once it's part of your identity, making good choices feels automatic, not like a chore. All right, so the theory is solid, but let's look at some real-world examples. Let's see these powerful habits in action. If there's one habit that researchers point to again and again, it's this one: regular physical activity. It's kind of the ultimate keystone habit, and for good reason. The ripple effects are just massive and incredibly well documented. And here's what's so wild about it. These other improvements, they often happen without people even trying. Someone starts exercising and they don't consciously decide, okay, now I'm also going to fix my diet and my sleep. No, they just naturally start eating healthier. They sleep better. They're more focused at work. That one single habit ends up reshaping their entire day. Okay, now for an example that takes, 2 minutes and requires almost zero effort. Making your bed. I know, it sounds so simple, almost silly, right? But this tiny task has been linked to better productivity, a greater sense of well-being, and, believe it or not, even better money management. It's because that first little win of the day, it just sets the tone. It's like you're telling yourself, I am organized, I am disciplined, and that feeling starts a chain reaction that can carry you through the whole day, affecting how you focus in the afternoon and even what you decide to eat for dinner. And of course, it's not just about working out or making your bed. There are tons of other powerful keystone habits. For example, just planning out your day can slash your stress levels. Journaling what you eat almost always leads to healthier choices. Meditation, we know, boosts focus. And something as simple as having regular family dinners, it's been shown to improve kids' grades and their emotional well-being. It's amazing. Okay, so this is all great, but how do you find the right one for you? The one that's going to unlock the biggest changes in your life? Let's walk through a quick guide to get you started. This is it. This is the big question you need to ask yourself. And take your time at this one, really think about it. Look back at the times in your life when things were just clicking, when you felt your best. What were you doing consistently back then? Was it journaling? A morning walk? Whatever your answer is, that's probably a huge clue to your personal keystone habit. All right, once you have an idea, the trick is to make it so easy you can't fail. First, start ridiculously small. I'm talking tiny. Think of the 2-minute rule. Whatever it is, shrink it down so it takes less than 2 minutes. Next, you're going to anchor it to a routine you already have. This is a game-changing technique called habit stacking. For instance, after I brush my teeth, I will meditate for 1 minute. The old habit triggers the new one. And finally, track your progress. Get a calendar and put an X on it every day you do it. Just don't break the chain. Seeing that visual progress is a huge motivator. So, when it comes down to it, Keystone habits are your biggest lever for personal change. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire life at once, you just focus on the one thing, the one habit that makes everything else fall into place. You're not just building a habit, you're designing a whole new life. So the only question left is, what's your keystone going to be?